I thought I would start this talk off with my little meager tale of how I got into the world of comedy. I was a regular, mild-mannered multimedia producer who had a comedy club actually open across the street from his house. So that's how I got into it, because I thought, man, I think I'm funny. And I went to the open mic, and I was horrible. Because stand-up, I come from the stand-up world, and there's a lot of different sections of comedy within Chicago. Of course, you have the improv crowd, you have the stand-up crowd. It's sort of like the Jets and the Sharks a little bit. But I do stand-up, and I kind of look at Chicago as a good workout place for comedy. I call it the Bally's of comedy, if you will, where if you really, really want to be funny, if you really want to be really, really funny, this is a town to do it in because of its diversity. Even though it's super segregated, and I'll get into that in a second, even through the diversity of it, you can still find your way and be mega, mega funny, and a lot of funny people have come out of this town. So for me, I'm a South Sider. They call me the Prince of Bronzeville. That's what you do. You kind of coin yourself royalty of a neighborhood before anyone else does it, and then you become royalty of that neighborhood. So I'm the Prince of Bronzeville, and I live on the South Side, and I found that Chicago was sort of broken up in two different worlds. You have the South Side comedy, which is more of your urban Def Jam type comedy, and then you have your North Side comedy, which is more of your, I would say they call it mainstream. So my goal was, I wanted to be funny across the board. I felt, this is real, and I've done this, I could make a crack dealer laugh or a rocket scientist, and that's power. If you can go into a room and go into the most South Side dive bar and get people's attention and make them laugh, or you can go to the Chase Auditorium Theater and make people crack up at a Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me show. That's two different dynamics of funny to me. So, and I found several of my jokes kind of work both ways. So let's do an example. I mean, we are here to laugh a little bit, right? Yeah. And let me just, I'm gonna be the host and the moderator all night, and I demand energy, okay? I demand it. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So this is one of my jokes, and I tell people that, comedians are sort of like sociologists, if you think about it, right? Because comedians look at the world through their whiskey-dipped eyeballs and then go to a comedy stage and tell you about it. So one of my jokes is that I had to go to the South Side and explain to a bunch of black people what hipsters were. Now, if you don't know what a hipster is, it's this new phenomenon that's sweeping the nation. It's disgusting, but it's okay. So I'll explain what a hipster is this. I said a hipster is a perfectly good white boy that throws it all away with his art history major from Brown University to be a bike messenger or barista. And then they wear hand-me-up clothes. And what hand-me-up clothes are clothes that a little-ass boy hands up to a grown-ass man to put on and ride his 10-speed down Michigan Avenue as if it's a car in his schmedium outfit. I call it, schmedium is a new size. It's small and medium mixed together. It's schmedium. That's a... And then I go and talk about handlebar mustaches, my fear of handlebar mustaches. Terrified of handlebar mustaches. Because I'm always fearful that I'm gonna be tied to some train tracks with them on top of me, like, if I can't have you, no one will. Nah, that's terrifying. So the breakdown of that joke is, I can do that joke on both sides of town because, sure, there are some black people who probably have seen a hipster, didn't know what the hell a hipster was, and now they know. Or I can go and connect with some people on the North Side and tell that joke because they have a cousin or that dude who lives in their building that they can't stand, and it's a good time to laugh at them. So, also, I find sometimes, comedy also lives outside of just stand-up. It's your day-to-day comedy. We'll get into that, how you make people laugh on social media, what kind of things you post to Instagram. Like if anyone follows me on Instagram, I have this thing called White Baby Friday. And White Baby Friday is the best day of the week. What are you talking about? It's a celebration of me and hanging out with white kids, and it's me with strollers and baby Bjorns. It's hilarious. And people look forward to White Baby Friday on the Instagram. That's... Or this here, this band here. This is my white privilege band here. And I wear it And ever since I've been wearing this, my life has been great. I don't know if it's magic. I don't know what's going on, but it's great. So today we have a pretty good show for you. Actually, it's not pretty good. It's, pretty damn awesome. We have a lot of funny people from all sides of comedy, from the political side of comedy, like when I do the Wait, Don't. How many people are Wait, Don't Tell Me fans at all here? Okay, that's good. And that was a blessing in disguise. It was a snowstorm in New York, actually got me on one of the coolest radio shows in the country. And for me to be able to do that show at the drop of the dime is you have to be smart. You have to be able to think on the fly super fast. You have to do a great Obama impersonation. That's always, and I'm starting a Kickstarter campaign in a few weeks where I will be doing Barack Obama voicemail greetings on people's cell phones for $5 and a white privilege band. You will get it. And also I think that sometimes comedy can be a way to talk about uncomfortable things. So some of my jokes are about race. Some of my jokes are about, sexuality and stuff. How many people here, and we're going to be interactive here, how many people here, and by a show of hands, and this is serious, don't get tense on me, how many people here think that a rape joke can be funny? By a show of hands. Wow. How many people think a rape joke can never be funny? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I want you guys to when you go home today, take notes, Chicago Ideas Week style, and look up the joke, Dave Chappelle, man rape joke. And I guarantee you that joke will change your mind because he breaks it down and he makes you think about why we get so sensitive about, sensitive things. And I guarantee you, I've had the most Gloria Steinem feminist cracking up at this clip. And he breaks it down where he says there was a serial rapist somewhere in Texas. And he says, you've seen this joke, haven't you? That's hilarious. He says he's a serial rapist in Texas. And the funny part was, and he says it's not funny, but this guy was raping men. And he says that's kind of tough because it's kind of hard for a man to admit that he was raped because if he goes home, he can't admit that to anybody because that's just not macho. And so people are cracking up, and this is an infamous stage at the Improv in LA where Tosh Point oh, had his problems, where Michael Richards had his infamous N-word meltdown. And he got big laughs. And I looked at that bit and I realized he had a power because he found a way to make something that's super taboo to people. Because the people who raise their hands, I guarantee you have a reason why you think that's not funny. But he found a way to take a real live news story and tweak it to make something funny out of it. And I think that is the power of comedy. And we're going to explore all that and much more tonight. So how many people here are ready to actually have a good time? How many people here are ready to crack up and then maybe start a stand-up career after this session and try it? Who knows? Who knows what we have here?